HarperCollins presents India, A History, written by John Keay, read by Mike Fraser.
Introduction. Histories of India often begin with a gripe about the poverty of the available sources. These sources were once thought so inadequate as to make what is certainly one of the world's longest histories also one of its more patchy. Prior to the 13th century AD, wrote Professor R.C. Majumdar in the 1950s, we possess no historical text of any kind, much less such a detailed narrative as we possess in the case of Greece, Rome, or China. Majumdar cited the 13th century because that was when northern India, succumbing to Muslim rule, attracted the attention of partisan writers keen to chronicle the triumphs of Islam. But given a good 4,000 years of earlier pre-Islamic civilization, it followed that for more than 80% of attestable Indian history, there were no histories. It is difficult to give a rational explanation for this deficiency, continued Majumdar, but the fact admits of no doubt. Rational explanations apart, and there have been many, most supposing an Indian indifference to treating antiquity as an academic discipline, this dearth of ready-made chronicles and memoirs weighed heavily on the historian. It handicapped his reconstruction of past events and hobbled his presentation of them in an acceptable narrative. His gentle readers were forewarned. A rough ride was in prospect. Happily, the situation has improved considerably. No unsuspected ancient chronicles have come to light, but much new research has been undertaken, and other disciplines have made important contributions. I have therefore stressed in the pages which follow those feats of discovery and deduction, the fortuitous finds and the painstaking analysis, whereby the documentational void has been gradually filled. While spiking the narrative with some lively debate, this explorational approach also has the advantage of mitigating my presumption in venturing gownless onto the campus sward. History based on histories looked to be the province of professionals, but where so much of the past, even its chronology, has to be teased from less articulate objects like coins and charters, or pieced together from random inscriptions, tidbits of oral tradition, literary compositions and religious texts, and where such researches are then usually consigned to specialist publications and obscure monographs, there surely must be need for an overview. Reconstructing the past from such reluctant materials can be intensely exciting, but it is not easy. The ingenuity of those scholars who from rocks and runes, bricks and rubrics, have wrested one of the oldest and richest civilizations constitutes something of an epic in itself. It deserved to be told. And in a previous book I had endeavored to do so in respect of mainly 19th century scholarship. But this is an ongoing epic of research which is itself part of India's history. As well as being directly responsible for revealing those distant personalities and events by way of which, like stepping stones, the historical narrative progresses, it also betrays much about the age to which the stepping stones supposedly led. More personally, since what we know has been derived so largely from research and so little from testimony, it seemed perverse not to credit the discoverers while appropriating their discoveries. What follows, therefore, is both a history of India and, to some extent, a history of Indian history. I liked the idea that the variety of disciplines involved in this work of discovery, archaeology, philology, numismatics, phonetics, art history, etc., seemed to admit the need for a generalist, and I hoped that the heavy ideological and religious distortions to which the findings have sometimes been subject might be countered by the reticence of a confirmed skeptic. Better still, 50 years of intermittent wandering about the subcontinent, reading about it and writing about it,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?